red meat, dairy, eggs. How do these animal products affect the heart?
I like how you described this, the juicy part. I've been like waiting with bated breath. What's the juicy question? I love it. There's a lot of different nutritional studies that epidemiologic studies that have sort of looked at these different products in terms of how they compare by doing different kind of swaps and things like that. So by and large, red meat, particularly processed red meat, tends to get sort of the worst rating, if you will, in terms of heart health effects. Universally, it's demonstrated to have an increased risk of heart disease, pretty much when you're comparing it to really anything else, certainly plants. And typically even kind of white meat and all these other things. Eggs don't tend to perform very well either. Dairy is a little bit of a mixed picture, and we can get into that. So the main reason that most of these animal products are likely detrimental to the heart, number one, saturated fat, which we've touched on as well. But all of them are very high in saturated fat, which is again consistently shown to increase risk of heart disease by contributing to LDL elevations, which again are consistently associated with increased risk. So that's a big one. Cholesterol, they also tend to have cholesterol, and that is less important in terms of our body cholesterol. It's kind of confusing, but we don't tend to increase our cholesterol as much in response to dietary cholesterol, although in some susceptible individuals it does. And then also it's important to note that they tend to lack the things that are associated with healthful outcomes, such as some of the things we've talked about, like fiber. So some of it is what they have in them, which is the saturated fat, the cholesterol, and then some of the more novel things that we're looking at, like carnitine, which turns into TMAO, and all of these heme iron. So there's all these other compounds that we're starting to learn more and more about that may also contribute to their unhealthy effects. And then some of it's also the foods that they displace, right? So instead of eating lentils, you're eating red meat. And so not only are you getting the saturated fat and cholesterol and heme iron and all the other stuff, but you're not getting the benefits of the lentils, which is the fiber and all of that kind of stuff.